If we just want to define what the summer solstice is, it's the longest day of the year. Astronomically, it marks the first day of summer, and in the southern hemisphere, it happens in December, when the South Pole is closest to the sun. So why is the day of solstice the longest? And why do we have more hours of daylight in summer? The reason we experience seasons is because of how the Earth revolves around the sun. If we took planet Earth and drew a line between the North and South poles, we would see the axis that we rotate on every day as we take our yearly journey around the sun. This rotational axis, however, is not straight up and down. It's actually tilted at an angle of about 23.5 degrees from vertical. As the Earth orbits the sun, this imaginary line does not move. It points always at 23.5 degrees, meaning different parts of the planet will experience the intensity of the sun's direct rays at different times. For half the year, when the southern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, it's receiving more direct sunlight, and thus we experience more hours of sunlight in our days. As most of you watching this will be aware, there's an imaginary line that we draw around our planet called the Tropic of Capricorn, which sits at the magical number of 23.5 degrees south of the equator. On the day of summer solstice, which can be anywhere between the 21st to the 23rd of December, the sun will travel its longest path through the sky in the southern hemisphere. The moment the South Pole is closest to the sun at noon, the sun's vertical rays align with the Tropic of Capricorn, and this is when the solstice occurs. Once it has reached its southernmost position, and we continue our orbit around the sun, the hours of daylight will begin to lessen as the sun's rays begin to shift towards the northern hemisphere. Now, despite the fact that astronomers consider the solstice to be the first day of summer, and the days being their longest around the date of the solstice, the hottest part of the year is still to come, due to the time it takes for the land and water in the southern hemisphere to warm up in the abundant sunlight. This seasonal lag takes about 1 month to happen. Therefore, the warmer days of our summer season tend to follow the summer solstice. Why and how do we experience the summer solstice phenomenon at the Capricorn Caves? When we consider our summer solstice phenomenon that happens here at Capricorn Caves, we are experiencing a series of natural occurrences over many, many, many years of coming together. We have had the perfect recipe, the perfect mixing pot to these series of coincidences, allowing us to experience Capricorn Caves summer solstice phenomenon. A very, very long time ago, in the area we know as Central Queensland, in a shallow inland sea, ancient reef was abundant. Layers of reef sediment that built up over many, many years gradually went through the process of compaction and pressurization, whilst buried underground to become the limestone we see around us today. Once the limestone was formed, and while sitting underground for many, many years, water found its way through small cracks and weaknesses in the rocks, slowly dissolving limestone to form an amazing network of passageways and chambers. Over time, through earth movements and erosion, we ended up with some exposed limestone, and that's where we see the limestone karst of the Capricorn Caves today. The Capricorn Caves, by the way, are named because of our location, being on the Tropic of Capricorn. Now, at some point, water has found one particular crack or weakness in the rock and dissolved away a chimney-like chute in the ceiling of a cave. This hole just happens to be located in an amazing place for just a few weeks of the year as the planet makes its daily rotation on its axis. The hole is aligned perfectly with the sun at midday. The only time this happens is when the sun is close to approaching its southernmost point of our orbital journey, and when it arrives and aligns with the Tropic of Capricorn, a brilliant beam of light penetrates into the cave below. I'm Morgan Freeman. Thank you for listening.